Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio, and given that Fort Wayne Regionals is coming up, and that's expanded, and Bilbao's special event is coming up in Spain, and that's expanded, that one starts the day after my birthday, which is pretty cool. I thought we need to take a look at 5 decks to watch in Expanded. Now, I started looking at the Expanded format, and oh my goodness, there's too many decks. So I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if this video is popular enough, I will do some more Expanded videos, maybe looking at in-depth for individual decks, maybe doing other videos looking at 5 decks per turn. What we're really going to do is focus on decks which we've not been looking at in Standard very much lately, that we really need to be keeping an eye out for in Expanded. And as a fun little side note, I am going to give you the ace spec that you should be playing, or at least that I would be playing, in each of these particular decks. So, starting off, our old friend Night March. Now, Night March is the same as ever. You've got Joltik and Pumpkaboo, each of which does a whole bunch of damage depending on how many Night Marches are in your discard pile. For a double colourless energy. Joltik, 20 times the number of Night Marches for a double colourless energy. And Pumpkaboo comes along as an alternative and allows you to do 20 times for a double colourless if Dimension Valley is in play. Why am I bringing up Night March now? Well, we've got Marshadow nowadays. And Marshadow is an incredibly interesting one. Marshadow just allows you to copy Night March. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, but Marshadow allows you to copy it from the discard pile. So in theory, if you get all 4 of your Lampent, all 4 of your Pumpkaboo, all 4 of your Joltik in the discard pile, then you've actually got 12 Night Marches in a discard pile, and you're hitting for 240 damage. That means you're one-hit KOing Mega EXs, like, for instance, Rayquaza, even with the resistance, and your Stage 2 GXs. It also gives you a really good out against Darkrai, which is likely to be one of the best decks in Expanded moving forward. I think Marshadow is great, but of course it gives up 2 prizes and has 150 HP, but the chance to hit for 240 damage and the chance to just hit Darkrai for weakness and really shore up that matchup means it's something you really want to keep in mind. The ace spec you really want to be using with Night March is Computer Search, because you've just got to search those double colourless energy out. Now, as far as I'm concerned, there are 2 top picks for the Expanded format. The first of which is Speed Darkrai. Now, Speed Darkrai's got Max Elixir just like it does in Standard, but it's got Dark Patch. Just attach a Dark Energy from your discard to one of your benched Darkness Pokemon. That is crazy. You add that all up and you have got a lot of energy acceleration. Not to mention we've now got Darkrai GX. Now, Darkrai GX's ability allows you to put it on the bench from the discard and attach a Darkness Energy. Means you get your energy out faster to be hitting harder, but you've also got Battle Compressor in Expanded, which can allow you to discard your energy in Darkrai super easily. Not only that, but you've got Hypnotoxic Laser. The Darkrai GX gets a one-hit KO on absolutely anything, as long as they are affected by a special condition. So Darkrai comes out here, you play a Hypnotoxic Laser, automatic one-hit KO. It's a little bit dumb, and that is why. Darkrai GX turns a really good deck into a ridiculously what is going on good deck, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, little bit over the top good, I would say, and it is definitely going to be a deck to watch in Expanded tournaments coming up. And this is one of the reasons I think that we really do need, if we're playing Night March, to be playing this Marshadow GX, because honestly, oh my goodness, it's getting a little bit silly. Hey-ho. And in terms of ace spec for Darkrai, it's got to be Dowsing Machine. Being able to grab those Dark Patches, Max Elixirs, Hypnotoxic Lasers in the mid to late game is too good. You'll want to be playing Dowsing Machine. The other deck I think is a real top choice for expanded tournaments coming forward is Volcanion Turtonator. And what you'll notice about all of these decks I'm talking about today, it is cards from expanded that make them better than they would have been otherwise. So for instance, we've got, wait for it, Blacksmith. I love Blacksmith. Attach 2 fire energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. Yeah, little bit silly. I should confirm it is only your fire Pokemon to whom you can attach using this. So this just gives you so much more speed. Turtonator hits 160 with a choice band, that's 190. The numbers are great. Biggest problem with Turtonator, well, you have to discard 2 energy, and that's bad. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, because then you can just Blacksmith every turn, and it's a little bit silly. So against the EX decks and the GX decks, you can just be sitting there hitting 190, having a good time. What about decks like Night March, like Tall Drop, that use these low HP single prize attackers to try and win the prize race? That's okay. You got Shell Trap. Shell Trap does 20 damage, and if your opponent attacks, they take 8 damage counters. That's enough to KO Pumpkaboo, Joltik, Trubbish. All of these little Pokemon, they will get KO'd by this. And I know it only does 20 damage, but you've got Steam Up to do 30 more damage when you discard a fire energy from your hand. Oh yeah, and you want to play Muscle Band here, not Choice Band, maybe a mixture of the two, because Muscle Band allows you to do an extra 20 damage to all Pokemon. The ace spec here that I prefer is very much Computer Search, because I think you want a fast start with Volcanion Turtonator, and Computer Search helps you to get that. Now this one might sound a little bit familiar, Aqua Box. The reason Aqua Box is so good is it's got Aqua Patch and Max Elixir, like Darkrai's got Dark Patch and Max Elixir. But this isn't really a force in Standard. Why is it good in Expanded? Nice and simple, more options. You've got Manaphy for free retreat. Meh, that's fine. You've got Regice to block EX Pokemon. That's pretty good, but remember, Regice does not block GX Pokemon. That's a little bit annoying. But hey-ho, nothing we can do about it now. We've got Glaceon that stops evolved Pokemon, but both Regice and Glaceon don't block Tapu Lele. So Tapu Lele can just attach a double colourless and hit for 100. They'll go through pretty quickly. I think both of those are really hurt by Tapu Lele. Hang on a second. I've only been talking about bad stuff, most of which is legal in Standard. Obviously, you've got Lapras as your main kind of big hitting attacker. What does Expanded add? You've got Seismitoad, blocks items, gives you time to set up. It's really good. Oh yeah, and you've also got Articuno. Articuno is great, ladies and gentlemen. It's got the Delta Plus Ancient Trait, take an extra prize when you take a KO. Triad, flip 3 coins, 40 more damage for each heads. Against stuff like Night March, you can be taking 2 prizes. And with Max Elixir and Aqua Patch, it's not even that slow. There's a lot of options going around for Aqua Box, but I think same thing with Darkrai. You really want to play Dowsing Machine here to reuse those items in the mid to late game. And the last one I'm going to give you is a deck which is entirely Expanded only. Electric. Electric is amazing. It just allows you to grab a lightning energy from your discard and attach it to one of your bench Pokemon. Now we got a bunch of options here. You can use Rayquaza, but then you do have to be using fire energy as well. It's good, but I fear it's a tad bit inconsistent. But that's okay. You've got Zekrom that you can use. 120, free energy, non-EX, non-GX, pretty good option. But what I really like here is Raikou, and there's 2 Raikou I like. Now, the one I quite like is from Breakthrough. More lightning energy you get, more damage you do, plus you've got Shining Body to reduce damage done to it, plus you can use Ether Paradise Conservation Area to reduce damage, plus you can use Fighting Fury Belt to reduce, to give you more HP. I quite like Raikou. I think it's really good. You can also use Raikou EX to snipe for 100 damage, but if Marshadow is going to be running around, then that is a slight issue because you're giving up 2 prizes. But sniping for 100, nothing to be sniffed at. Generally, though, it's the breakthrough Raikou that I'm more of a fan of. You can get it going nice and quickly, do a whole bunch of damage, and it's quite tanky for a basic single prize attacker. Now, you can also use Seismitoad in this deck, or you can use Jolteon EX. And I like Jolteon EX a lot more than I like Regice or Glaceon, because it doesn't get hit by Tapu Lele. It prevents basic Pokemon. Both Regice and Glaceon, everyone's playing Tapu Lele. Pop a bunch of energy on it, take the KO, get on with your day. You can't do that with Jolteon. You've got to have an evolved Pokemon or be playing Pokemon Ranger. And especially in Expanded, where we've all got more options, nobody's playing Pokemon Ranger. So a deck like Volcanion Turtonator could be completely walled by Jolteon. A deck like Night March could be completely walled by Jolteon. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is a slight issue, but hey-ho, it's a fun deck to try. Now, I'm not going to talk much about Gardevoir, but I'm going to stick it on the end here as a quick side note. It's a great deck. You get Computer Search for the faster setup, and that's the ace spec I would use. Other than that, it's not going to be that different a deck. Octillery's still amazing. Gardevoir's still a great attacker. Gallade's still a great tech. Yeah, it's a really, really good deck and will continue to be so. Those, ladies and gentlemen, are 5 decks that I think you should be watching for in Expanded. They are not the only 5 decks. There's a lot of cards in Expanded. There's a lot of options, but that should be enough to get you going and thinking for Fort Wayne. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what your favourite deck in Expanded is. Chuck it down in the comment section. I want more comments, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm starting to ask questions. So be a dear and answer them. I'd love you. Yay! Lovely people all around. Of course, make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and for some live action, check twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus pods, etc., and bonus pod 2 is being deleted on Saturday to make way for bonus pod 4, then check out patreon.com/PTCGRadio. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.